Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
The water. I'm so drawn to water more than ever. I know that, the voice spoke to me 2 years and a bit ago. Laguna Beach. I'm on the beach doing a journaling exercise as part of a group coaching program, a live event that I was a part of. And we had plans to move back to where we both grew up, at least the province we grew up in, which is Ontario. It was going to be London, Ontario, which is kind of the southern part of Ontario. It was all planned out. We actually started looking at houses online. Like, this was the way it was going to be. And I'm on the beach, and as clear as day, the voice said to me, it's not London. It's not London. And then the second piece of information was this, is you need to live near the water. I felt so drawn to the water always, but I think perhaps it's like a lot of people, just like, oh, it'd be nice to live near the ocean. It never becomes a thing of like, you need to make this happen. It was just like wouldn't it be nice, right? Wouldn't it be nice if that would be so cool and, but not ever see it as a possibility. I remember at the time as I'm receiving this information, right? I'm like, what does that mean? Like, near water? Well, there's Great Lakes in Ontario, so maybe it's that. And it's like, what does that mean, Maui? Oh no, we can't move to Maui, and we're Canadian, we're not American, The price of real estate, and like all this kind of shit went off in my head, right? I literally had a couple of weeks that I held on to that until I talked to Ed. Now, 2 years later, 2 and a bit later, I live on an island called Vancouver Island. Victoria sits on Vancouver Island, so we're actually, and it's really confusing, they call it Vancouver Island. Vancouver Island is across the ocean from Vancouver, the city, huge city. And Victoria is on Vancouver Island, and we literally live across the street from the ocean now. I see the ocean out my front window. I walk by the ocean every single day with my dogs. I started learning how to swim. Now, I knew how to swim before this, but not well. Hack swimming. I want to be really proficient in front crawl. We love Maui. We go to Maui once, sometimes twice a year. And we've gone, oh my gosh, I think I go with my husband in July. We're taking a week away. I think this might be trip number 14, I want to say. We've been there a lot. 15, something like that. And then we go back again the fall with our kids. And I just got a stand-up paddleboard for my birthday. And I went stand-up paddleboarding for the first time. I took a lesson. And it was amazing. And so there's a lot of things that the water has taught me that I want to share with you today. I think will bring some relevance to you in your life, because there are things that we are drawn to that perhaps, number one, that we stop ourselves from doing because we think, well, that can't ever happen, or I don't know how, or who am I, or wouldn't that be nice, right? But we don't actually see that it can be a reality. And if you would have told me now, 2 years later, that I'd be living across the street from the ocean, I can see the ocean on my front, I'm living on an island, I'd be like, no way this can happen. And then I'd be swimming and I'd really love it. I'm like, nah, I'm not a swimmer. That was just kind of my end to that of I'll get in the pool and be with the kids and stuff. And, I can tread water and I can do kind of a quasi breaststroke thing. Not really good with my head in the water. And here I am now I get into the pool, and as soon as I work with my swim coach, I'm just kind of start doing flutterboard kick or hop on the flippers and just kind of warm up my body a bit and do some laps. My body just sinks into the water we're home. We're home. I also do immersion float, sensory deprivation floats. I've been doing that for a year now. Again, water. So what does the water teach me? The water teaches me a bunch of things, but here's some of the things that is true for me right now. Number one, to relax in the water. So when I first started swimming, I'd be really I'd be tense. Like, I'm used to when I move my body, there's like an intensity about it. I remember I've had a couple different swim coaches, because a lot of the young girls and the guys that teach swim lessons, they kind of like move on to things, or they change their schedule, or they're students and now their classes have changed. So the first coach I had, her name is Roxanne, and she's like, you just got to be lazy in the water. And I was like, people say the word lazy, it almost is like a trigger for me. Like, I'm not lazy. What the fuck do you mean lazy? Lazy's not me. She's like, no, lazy. Like, just let your body just be loose. Like, just literally just be like, enjoy being in the water. And there was something that she said about that just kind of like a switch went off inside of me. And I'm like, So, the water has taught me to relax. That even in moments of like tension and stress, right? So I'm doing laps and I'm tired, or I'm doing drills and things aren't coming together, just to relax into it. To relax into the tension, to relax into the stress, to relax into the fatigue. That good things happen when you relax. The same thing in the float tank. The first maybe 5 or 6 times I went, I noticed that even though like you're literally floating, I don't know if you've been in a float tank before, but they're everywhere now, by the way. They're everywhere, these float tank centers. But it's like something like 1,000 or 1,100, 1,200 pounds of Epsom salts that are in this big tub, and so you're literally like, you float in it. And I'm not a good floater, by the way. I found out with swim coaches that if you have muscle in your body, you don't float well. If you're fat, you float well. I'm like, oh, she's like, I feel like I'm sinking. She's like, well, it's kind of your body. Like, you're going to be just a little harder for you, right? You have strength to pull yourself through more, but you're not going to float as easily. So you literally float in this. But the first 5 or 6 times, even though there's a little floaty, like a ring, think of like it looks like, son, this is what it looks like. It looks like a toilet seat cover, okay? And it floats in the water. It's almost like a little foam thing, and you can just rest your neck in there, right? So you can use it, not use it. I just always have. It's kind of just, it's nice. And that's part of my routine. But the first 5 or 6 times, I didn't even realize it, that I was actually not letting my neck like completely relax and sink into the water. I think I was trying to hold it on top. I don't know. It didn't feel like at the time. But the reason I know is because those first 5 or 6 times, I felt like a lot of tension in my neck and my upper back. And I'm like, I don't feel a lot of tension in my body anymore. I used to lift for literally over 3 decades and did CrossFit the last 8 of those. And when we moved here to Victoria, I don't know, something was telling me, like, I just kept avoiding going to a CrossFit gym. I kept avoiding lifting, which was like, I would never think it would not be part of my life. And I started boxing, and I just fell in love with that. And so even with that, with boxing, it's just your body, at least for me, my body is very like loose and mobile, and it's like there's speed involved, but yet strength. It's different than lifting. And so, but yet I would feel that. I'm like, oh, and it took me a while to kind of go, like, just relax. And then suddenly I just remember that 5th or 6th time, it was just like, my body just went jelly into it. So the first thing, and I'll show you, we're going to call this the top 3 lessons that the water has taught me. The first one is to relax in tension, to relax in times of stress, to relax and let go. So that's number 1. Number 2 is kind of what I touched on earlier, sister, which is just like, it's important to do what you feel drawn to do, what the voice is pulling you to do, what your heart is telling you to do. I mean, for a while, like, because we moved into this home in July of last year, so July of 2017. And I remember like looking out and seeing people like stand at paddleboard, because the water's like really calm. Like there's no waves in Victoria to surf. You'd have to go to other parts of the island to get like surf stuff. Like Tofino's one. It's a really popular and well-known surf spot. But the beach we're in, it's stand-up paddleboarding, it's kayaking. Right, because the water's just so calm. It's just like glass. It's beautiful. And so for a while, I'd be like watching these stand-up paddleboarders. I see some people come out of the water. I'd have a conversation with them. Like, I'm like, I should do that. Like, never did it, right? And it was my birthday last week. My husband got me a board. I actually didn't go out on that board because where I took the lesson from, he was like, I'll just bring a board. I'm like, that's cool, because I don't have a rack on my vehicle just yet to be able to transport it, because most of the time I'm literally going to walk across the street. The stand-up paddle boards are actually pretty light, and so I literally can just carry that thing over my head and just walk across the street with my paddle, my life jacket, and like put it in the water and like go, right? Like pretty easy peasy. But to do those things that you feel drawn to. Because here's the third lesson that I'll segue into is like, when you do the things that your heart feels drawn to, you will feel alignment and lit up like you've never felt before. I'm telling you that right now. It was so crazy. So 2 days ago, Wednesday, when I went stand-up paddleboarding for the first time, and we're on the ocean. We're not like super far out. So I have an injury that's still healing. And so like I'm good standing on it now, but I don't totally trust it. And although I have like a little life jacket actually like around my waist, it's one that like, you know, you have to wear a life jacket, by the way, when you stand up paddleboard, at least around here. It's a lot to do that. It's kind of like wearing a seatbelt when you drive your car, right? Like just things can happen out in the ocean. It's not like surfing, right? And surfing, at least out here too, you're going to wear a wetsuit because the water's cold. So, I mean, you're somewhat buoyant with a wetsuit, but people stand up paddleboard, at least this time of the year. I just had on like Lulu tights, I guess kind of like a wetsuit, but like it's not warm or anything. And it's like super thin, my Lulu tights, and like a hoodie and a beanie. Like it's just so chill out there on the ocean. And so I'm out there and I'm literally just kind of like, I'm out in the middle of the ocean. I'm like, shouldn't I feel tense? Shouldn't I be more like feeling I had to be like alert? And I do have the comparison of surfing, because I've surfed in Maui before, just a couple times with a surf coach, and this is like years ago, so before we even had Tyson, so this is probably 9-10 years ago is when I surfed last. And you gotta be alert, man. There's some waves coming and the ocean's gonna take you down, right? And there's a certain way you gotta get up on the board, you gotta practice. Stand up paddleboard, you basically kneel and then you stand. Like it's pretty chill. And so I'm out there on the ocean 2 days ago and I'm like, shouldn't I be more like, it was literally almost just like a weird feeling. Like I feel like just like, I'm in this Zen state where I almost forget, it sounds funny, I forget I'm not standing on a board on the ocean. Because again, the water's just so chill and lovely, and it's really like calm. Like I get the appeal of it. I know when I came back, my husband's like, "What? Like, how was it?" And I'm like, "It was really cool." Like I thought I would have a different feeling. I thought I'd be like, "Oh my God, it was so amazing!" Like I'd be so pumped from it, right? Like after you do something like you ride a roller coaster, or what's some other kind of things that I think of with that? I don't know, like when I surfed, like for the first time, or like just like a high from it, and it was just like a chill. Like I was just like, oh, it was cool, it was super cool. But then that was kind of it, right? It wasn't like so exciting. It was just like, man, it was like so amazing, and I know that it's like because I felt so drawn to it in my heart to be on the water. And I've said to my husband, I'm like, because now in Victoria, this is like June 1st as I'm recording this episode, it's like sunrise is literally like 5:50 in the morning. I'm like, dude, I could get out there at 5 o'clock as the sun's coming up. Like it's so chill on the beach. I wouldn't go at 4, and I would just kind of go like, I wouldn't go out deep in the ocean. I would just go kind of horizontally, like back and forth. I'm like, I'm just going to go at like, I'm going to get up in the morning, do my meditation like I do, walk the dogs, come back, and then go out and get my board, and just like 20 minutes, like just be on the ocean. Another form of meditation, right? And there's this feeling of alignment when you follow your heart and what really lights you up. So that those things that you think are someday, one day, wouldn't it be nice? You will realize that it is far bigger than wouldn't it be nice. Whenever I keep saying that, I keep thinking the Beach Boys song. It becomes more like a must. Like you recognize this is something that you need to do that's a piece of who you are. So for example, I know for me, I'm very physical. I describe myself that way. I am that way. I'm very much in my body, that it is imperative for me to do physical things. Like imperative. Again, it's not a wouldn't it be nice? It's like I need to move my body every day. If I don't move my body, I'm just not the same person. I'm a little antsy. I'm maybe even a little irritated. Like I need to move my body every single day, even if it's just like walking the dogs. I don't need to necessarily like kill myself in a workout every single day. I'm going to have high intensity ones too, for sure. But I know that about me. I need to move my body. It is necessary. It's not a wouldn't it be nice. It's a I need to do this each day. I also understand and recognize I need to be still every day. I do not miss my morning meditation for 15 minutes. It is part of my routine and structure. And I do not miss, I take that back. I miss on date night 5 minutes of meditation. So I do 50 minutes in the morning. I do 5 minutes before bed. Any more than 5 minutes, I find I'm tired. I'm almost like I'm like nodding off as I'm meditating. It's just like my body's like, dude, go to sleep. Like, we're good, right? So 5 minutes is kind of all that's really required for me to just like really settle in my body and be ready for sleep. And I fall asleep very easily. So except for date nights, I don't miss that. Like, these are necessary things for me. They are what make me me. All sides of me, all pieces of me. I need to have these ways to be me, to express me. Alignment. I feel alignment in my physical body and spiritually, emotionally. Physical and spiritually for sure, more than I ever have in my life. In my 49 years around the sun, as some people say. So there you go. 3 lessons that water have taught me. And as I'm talking about this too, it's so interesting. I'm so chill as I'm like relaying the story. I'm driving, dropped off my son Tyson at school. I'm going for an appointment right now downtown, and I completely kind of veered in a different direction. Now I'm like, oh shit, there's a lot of traffic and cars here right now. There we go. Thank you, Nice Cheap, for letting me in. Appreciate you. That I lost where I was going. I'm just so chill. It's all good. So here's your more tip for today then, sister. What is something that you feel really drawn to in your life that you have this, not even just a feeling, a knowing that it is necessary for you, that it'll bring you into alignment more of who you are? Like, maybe it is something like being in the water. I don't know. Maybe it's something like you need to be reading, you need to be listening to more music, you need to be doing something creative, artistic, like painting or pottery, or maybe it's connecting with someone on a regular basis. Maybe it's like, I don't know what that is for you, but I have a feeling that you know what it is for you, and you're not doing it because you don't know how you're going to make it happen, or it's become a someday, one day, wouldn't it be nice? So you need to start doing that. That's it. Start doing that. No 24 hours, no. Just fucking start doing it. You can, sister. You're deserving of it. You're worthy of this for you. You just simply have to take the step and begin to do that thing. That's it. That's it. So, finishing up today, sister. Number 1, if you do not already subscribe to the 101 More newsletter, make sure to right now go over to drkarenosborne.com/action guide. I'm going to send you my More 4, which is how to start your day in power video training in PDF, and 2 also amazing trainings on how to remember who you are, how to drop your stories and create new ones. So that's at drkarenosborne.com/action guide. Number 2, you need to be in the sisterhood. I know, sister, that you think you're the only one who feels this way, who thinks this way. And you're like, this is so cool. And you tune in to hear my voice 5 days a week, or maybe even daily, because you listen to past episodes, or you're binge and catching up on ones. And you think that having this like injection of Karen here in your brain and your psyche and your soul is going to kind of do it. But the thing is you need to be around women who are like you, sister, who want similar things. That is why I created Sisterhood. So I want you right now to head over to drkarenosborne.com/sisterhood, and you can sign up for the Sisterhood for free for the first 7 days. Weekly live trainings with me, daily sisterhood tips, and most importantly, a community of women that are like you that want to also create a life with more, want what you want. So that's at drkarenosborne.com/sisterhood. And number 3 is, this episode was of value to you, sister. I want you to do a couple of things. Number 1, share this up with at least one woman that you know needs to hear this episode. Number 2, subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any episodes. You'll get all of them delivered to your phone 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. And the last thing is to leave a 5-star review on iTunes. Yes, I would appreciate you taking a few minutes of your time to share your words and what the podcast has meant to you. And if it's not a 5-star review, listening, if it's not something that you're getting like insane value from, or you're getting something from this, then with love, sister, don't listen. Because if it's not a fuck yes, then it's a fuck no. And I know for a lot of you that connect with me, it's a fuck yes. So if it's a fuck yes, leave a 5-star review in iTunes, and also a written, take 2-3 minutes just to kind of share what it means to you. Because here's the deal. Your words could be the words that another woman reads. She's looking through all the hundreds of thousands of podcasts that are now on iTunes and are wondering which one should I listen to. And your words might be the ones that kind of tip her over to go, wow, this sounds like something I'm gonna check this out. You have the ability to actually transform another sister's life. Isn't that amazing? So go ahead and do that, sister. And there you go. I will talk to you in the next episode. Life of More is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.